Whoa, it's looks sunny out there. Well, it is sunny out there, but it's flipping cold. Right, nip in the air. So it's Saturday. I'm no jobs in today. I had the day booked off for playing cars. Still haven't got all this ready. These are just about ready. I literally spent an entire day. I was here at 8:30 the other day, and why? I should watch what I'm filming, shouldn't I? Side skirts. It took from 9 o'clock till 3 o'clock to about 8:30, 9 o'clock till 3 o'clock to get those side skirts rubbed up. I've still got that repair to do there where I was doing me stress relief. I had a couple of bits on there that I had to sort out, but they're pretty much ready to go now. But yeah, and then the rest of the day, I spent another 3 hours rubbing that, so I haven't quite got right round that yet, but still got bits around the vents to do and that panel there, the back panel, and then like little bits like in the nooks and crannies to do, but I've got most of the surface area done. I've got work to do around these vents, but I need to reposition it to do that. So it's getting there, and hopefully I will have these in white primer. The doors are already in white primer, and I've got the roof to finish off. I've altered in here and whatnot, so I've got a bit to do there. The front's about there, and I just took the Toyota badge off the other bumper. Should I put that on? It fits perfectly. It's exactly the same profile as that part of the bonnet, because obviously it is slightly curved, but it fits absolutely perfect. And yeah, just for shits and giggles, I might stick a Toyota badge on it. So yeah, that's where I am. Still love this colour, it looks awesome. I'll show you that bit there. You see where I've been like grinding that away? When we're putting these things together and gapping it up, you're gonna have slight differences. So in places where you've got a face meeting a face, you might need to remove a bit of meat, or you might need to add a little bit of meat just to get that gap right. So, you know, changing stuff like that, it's just part of it's just fine tuning. But because there's so much changes happened to this clam and all the other bits and pieces, it doesn't quite go together the same as the other one went together, but the other one still needed all that sort of stuff doing as well anyway. So yeah, right, get you on a tripod. Right, quick update. The car is now back together. Looking pretty good. There's a couple of tiny little bits and pieces that I need to sort out. When I say tiny, I've got like that sticking out a little bit, just need to get that in. Similar on there. Nothing major, just a bit of heat and bend it in. All this is looking pretty good. The shuts are looking good. Obviously this primer hasn't been blocked, but the shapes are there now. I can see a couple of tiny undulations in it that I'll get with the final blocking. Nothing major. Got the rear screen in just for visuals. Really happy with all the shapes now. The arches are lovely. Everything's lining up lovely. So today, those are to go in. So I've got me laser level, which isn't lined up there at the minute, but I've got a lot of measuring to do, a lot of measure 5 times and cut once. So my plan today is to get these back lights in, hopefully get the front lights in as well. And then after that, it's door handles, mirrors, just need fitted up just to make sure everything's fitting all right. Indicators they actually go in kind of last because I'll paint it first. Cut all my meshes. I've got the under tray for the front to make. Like I say, all the meshes to cut, but they go in last. Rear window to fit properly. Rear diffuser to do. Number plate lights. And then once all that's done, I can take it all to bits again and start on the paint. The other thing that I'm desperately waiting for is my new hub adapters. These wheels are just on there to give us a reasonable idea of positioning of the arches and stuff, but those aren't the wheels that's staying on the car. Those are the wheels that's going on the car. So we're a bigger diameter wheel, and these tyres are quite stretched on the rims. These aren't. They're sitting quite fat for a bit of curb protection. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. What do you think? Because this is, you know, the first time we're really sort of seeing the actual shapes of it. I know it's hard to tell when it's white like this, and it's hard to see the exact shapes, but you know, even this area here, you know, there's so much work went into just that bit to get that right. It is really hard to comprehend how much time goes into these things. But anyway, sounding about waffling again. So I've measured and drawn and used me templates to get everything as lined up as possible. I've just put the laser back there just so I can see it needs reposition, but yes, I'm pretty sure I've got everything right. Looks right, measures right, so it must be right? I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous about these cuts. I don't know why. The position of them is obviously absolutely crucial, and it's a lot of work to fix it if I do get it even slightly wrong. So yeah, got some 3mm holes to drill, and then I've got to cut this centre out. Now this is double skinned as well because it's still got the original panel on the inside where the light unit used to sit. I might have to cut that, I don't know. We shall see. One problem that I can see at the minute, it's not a massive one, but I think we can work around it. That sits nice and flat on there, but the panel starts to curve off there, and then obviously that accelerates. Now I had hoped to put them, I wanted them right out at the edge, but it's rocking. You know, there's about maybe 4mm difference or something, so I've had to bring it in a little bit. Still looks all right. I think it's actually worked out almost better because they sit within the vent rather than offset from the vent. If I put it out there, it would have actually been further out. So there's a slight rock on there, but nowhere near. It's about maybe a couple of mil. So I'm hoping it'll flex a bit. I might make a slight adjustment in the back of there just so that they've got a flat surface. I don't know, but I need it to sit down flat. So whether it'll go or not, I'll work that bit out when I come to it, but I can't move it any further over. So yeah, so I'm gonna drill a hole so I can get my air saw in, cut that out, and then my 3mm holes. So here we go. Gives you your mark there, top, bottom. So I was able to place that. Obviously, I got my line with the spirit level and the laser level, the backs level. Got my line off that, and then it was just a case of working out. But those were really, really handy. Comes in the box, you know. Trying to stay just on the inside of the or inside the line. I don't want to go over it. You're better off cutting on the inside and then like kind of grinding it back a little bit. Okay, so this one has got a little bit more of a gap on that side than the inside. I think what I'll do is where in behind the surface, if I take off a little bit there, it'll be able to pull down a little bit more there just to make it a bit more flatter and slightly angled rather than sitting on a slight curve, but we'll see. Obviously I'll have to get this fitting right as well, so yeah, so we've got a little gap up there. Definitely gonna have to address. I think what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to recess that whole thing into there. Or I could make a little fillet to go in the back of there as well, so that's probably the easiest way actually. Happy with that? Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll make a piece to go in there, just like a little black section. It just sits in there. I'll bond that in just to fill that gap. Now then, step back and have a look at it. I'm stepping back, you don't have to. Have a look what it looks like from this side. Okay, other side. And these lights are totally, look at the rock on that. It's definitely what I'm going to do. I'll make a fillet piece of the back, because to get that area flat, well, I don't want to take away the shape of the back end, you know, so it just is what it is. Like I say, I could literally tape that up both sides, fill it with filler, let it dry, take it off, and then that piece will just stick in to place. There we go. The number plate's not stuck on, it's just sat in place, but the lights are in and I'm happy. We do have this gap here to deal with, which you maybe can't see properly there. You see it? There you go. So yeah, my simplest fix is to make a fillet that fits into there and you just bond that onto the car. I am not going to alter the shape of this, because eventually I need to take a mould of this and actually fill in them holes anyway, but I'm not making it flat. Got the exact same thing going on here, which is good because it shows that the curvature is the same as well. So yeah, I'm well happy with that. I've been looking at where is it at? I'll show you. I've been looking at a picture on my phone that I photoshopped. So that's got the diffuser and that in it as well. Now, just on the diffuser, I don't know whether I spoke about this, but I was hoping that that bit, I wasn't hoping, I was expecting to be able to make that into a tunnel so that I could bring the, you know, the diffuser coming up from that. Then Jonathan went and put that gearbox mount on there. I was like, what are you doing with that? And he says, well, that's where the gearbox mount goes. Oh man, it's ruined my plans for the diffuser. So we've actually been talking today about whether it's going to be possible to make another custom mount and sit it on top of the subframe instead of underneath. I would much rather that. So, well, the diffuser will look a lot better for it. So I'm going to see if we can do that. But yeah, man, absolutely buzzing. So I've been sat here on my little chair, just looking at it, drinking a cup of coffee. I'm done for the day. That is literally, I've been here since 9 o'clock this morning, and that's literally all I've achieved. I've messed on with a few other bits and pieces, and I've had to do some tidying up because they're coming to replace those windows tomorrow, so getting double glazing put in. So been doing that and sorting a few tools out and tidying up and what have you, but yeah, if that was all I achieved today, then I'm happy. And I do want to know what you think, because it is, you know I like it, but you know, I do want other people to like it as well. And today I shared some pictures of it on one of these MR2 owners club page, and it doesn't half trigger them, you know. They don't, like, some like it, some don't. And this guy's like commenting with like puke emojis and shit like that. So I just said, you know, he maybe better go to the doctors because he doesn't look very well. He probably needs another booster shot or something. Oh yeah, sick boy. But I think the car looks sick. Right, I've got something. It's getting dark outside, just got here, been tattooing all day. But I've been to pick something up. These. So, this is the solution for getting these wheels onto the car. The problem was the hubs are 4x100, the wheels are 5x120. It turns out that 4x100, which is that, won't go into 5. Shit camera. Skills. That's 5x120. The other side's 4x100, where it bolts to the car. We couldn't go 4x100 to 5x120 because the bolts hit each other. What we've ended up having to do is we've had a steel adapter made, which is 4x100 to 4x80, and then an aluminium adapter made, which is 4x80 to 5x120. So Rich at 105 Engineering said, don't put my name to it. I just have there, but like he says that's dodgy as out, man. I says, no, it's fine. So please, please, please make them. So he has, but he's taking no responsibility for anything that happens. He hasn't actually got us to sign a waiver, but I think we've got a verbal contract. So I have these, and hopefully not very long from now we shall have these on the car. So I'm going to get these ones removed and put these on. I am so excited. This is one of the final major pieces to the puzzle, and it's been quite difficult to work out and extremely expensive for what they are. You know, that represents 14.5 hours of machining time and CAD design and stuff like that. So they were almost as much as the wheels. So, but you know, it's my fault. You know, I thought 5B120 would go over 4B100, but there we go. We've all learned something together at my expense. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to lift the clam, because even putting these on, it's quite tight getting them in. I'm just going to lift the clam so it's out the way. Gives us a little bit more room. Don't even need to lift it all the way really. I'll just do it to there. That'll do. Right. And the other thing I don't have at the minute is brakes. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, the brake calipers aren't on, so I can't, you know, stop the hub turning. Well, not very easily anyway. So the way these work, they've got these bolts holding it together, the two together, so the steel one goes on first. What's your thoughts? Like, do you think this is a dodgy way to do it? I don't. I'm like looking at these, totally confident in them. Yeah, it might put some extra wear on the wheel bearings, but try and nip them up as much as I can. I mean, it's not going anywhere. I'm only going to lower it down. It's not as if I'm going to drive it. It hasn't even got an engine in. So once it starts going back together, that's the new one. That's the old one. Need some bolts. So these thread all the way to the back of the steel adapter, just so we've got as much thread on them as possible. Well, just they go almost all the way through. There's about mil clearance. I am quite nervous about this. Not these, but I just want them to fit right, you know. Like, this whole car's been built with a little bit of guesstimation about where the wheels are going to be. My concern is I might have to trim the arches, and I've already done the returns on them and everything, because I've had to wait a while for even coming up with the design of this, do you know what I mean? Rich actually looked at it and he says, no, you can't do it. And I says, there must be a way. And he says, you can't do it. And we found a couple of possible ways of doing it, but they were a bit messy. And then me and Jonathan were talking about it, and he had an idea, and like I had my idea, and he was messing on with his idea, and I was kind of, but what about? And he was like, no, shut up, I'm trying to work this out. And I'm like, but what about? He's like, no, shut up. Eventually, when he was like sat scratching his head, I says, can we not do this? So like that sort of kind of worked it out. Jonathan was almost there, I was almost there. To get it together, we worked it out. So, all right, this is quite a big moment. Oh God, my knee's killing us. Getting old, guys. Actually, I think I'm already old. Right. Oh. Tell you what, these are heavy wheels as well. So the adapters are bloody heavy. You can see how that's hitting that. It's actually hitting the side skirt. If I get it in first and then swing it round. Oh, yes. These thermal boiler suits are good, you know. Is my head steaming? I'm absolutely roasting. Right. Oh man, look at this. I think it's going to be all right, you know. I'm going to need some more wheel nuts anyway, but 2 will be enough just to hold it on, and I'll maybe need 2 or 3 in. Just for now. Right, you're going to see this before me. Here we go. I think it was all worth it. Wow. The arches are finally full. They could come out a touch more, to be fair. More at the front than the back, maybe. But it doesn't need to. I'm happy with where that's sitting. At the end of the day, it still needs to go up into the arch, and this car's still sitting up in the air at the minute, so... Okay, let's do the front. I'll do the same again. Now, this is how I have to open the bonnet, because when I lift this side, it puts tension on that side, and now I've got like locator pegs on it, so I have to lift it with the pole off the peg, and then lift the bonnet of the clam. Now these wheels and them other hub adapters won't necessarily go to waste, and I've got the original hub adapters as well for these wheels, because these wheels are actually 4B100, or the adapters are 4B100 to 4B100, because the front wheels are 4B100, but the back ones are 4B114, I think. So the different adapters on the back than the front, but essentially these wheels and the adapters aren't a total loss, because I'll be able to use them on the next build. So I can, you know, obviously this car's got these wheels, but how did I get that so tight? So these are 55mm, the front ones, because the front wheels were narrower. And that still didn't bring them out far enough, really. These are 65mm. I feel a bit like Whistling Diesel. He's probably the king of hub adapters, like. And I mean, you know, look at what he's done with hub adapters. He's had like 10 of them all stacked together. You know, and I've never seen Whistling Diesel break anything. So, you know. Now, one thing that we've got going on here is the very neatly machined. Rich didn't want any play in them as such, so they are quite tight. He's machined those little divots into it there, so that, because essentially we're going steel to aluminium, it'll tend to bind, so those are there to get a pry bar in the back to be able to pop them off or force them off if they need to be. Because if say you needed to change your disc or something, you wouldn't even be able to get it off because you couldn't get the adapter off. So that was a good idea on Rich's part, definitely. Yeah, engineered out a future potential problem. One of my main concerns is getting it through the driveway at my shop into the car park. The car park's around the back, and there's like an archway, sort of a tunnel that you've got to drive through. And with my Jag, I've got 5mm clearance either side of the tyres. I often catch my wheels. I wanted to make this as wide as I could, but it had to be able to get through the driveway, and I don't yet. You know, you can measure as much as you want. I'm concerned, I think at the wheel where it touches the ground, I should have that 5mm clearance, but have I got it further up? This is close to that. Very close. Like the little spikes are touching the bumper. I've got more at the back. I don't know where my other wheel nuts are. I'll have to go hunting for wheel nuts. Man, that's close. Let's have a look what it's like with the bonnet down. Well, it looks awesome. Just a little bit tight there. The front, I've obviously got it slightly narrower at the front than I have at the back. Okay, I'm going to do the other ones off camera and then we'll come back to this. So you just wanted to see them arches fold up. The back ones are, I'd say, perfect. The front possibly slightly over full. Very little clearance here, but there's more at the back than there is at the front, but also the lock, when I turn it, like I've got barely any lock because the wheel is hitting the inside of the lower part of the A-pillar really. So we're gonna have to move some metal. I think I'm gonna have to get smaller profile tyres, and I think I'm gonna have to trim this back a little bit. So, and that just shows you like how it was so hard to tell. The other side's the same. I wish I had the wheels and the adapters on. It's actually slightly, you can see a slight difference there, but there's also less gap on that side as well. So I don't know, it also needs lifted at the front a little bit. I've definitely got some trimming to do. I definitely need to adjust the height of the suspension, and I definitely need to cut away the inner wheel well, and I definitely need low profile tyres on the front. But the back looks lovely. Again, these are sitting pretty much the same. Super happy with the back, to be honest with you. Super happy with the back. Just a little bit of trimming around the returns and stuff. But yeah, the back is perfect. The front is definitely a little bit too much. Taking a bit off the back of one of the hub adapters, like the steel, to reduce that down like 5mm at the front on the front ones, which is totally doable. That'll bring the wheel in a little bit. I think that'll be enough. But yeah, there's work to do. And it's work that I just couldn't work out what I needed to do until the wheels were in place, because I was just guessing. Like I say, if I'd had these at the start, when I had the wheels, then I could have built the arches around the wheel, but I wasn't able to do that. So I'm gonna have to trim the arches around the wheel, but I want to do as little trimming as possible. So the back is absolutely fine. Definitely need to do something about the front. But anyway, gives you thoughts. What do you think? The fact that I've got some bit work to do, I was expecting it. I was half expecting it all the way around on all 4 arches. So the fact that it's just the front ones, I'm pretty damn happy. Yeah, happy. Right, I'm gonna go and get Jonathan, get him to come and have a look, get his opinion, and you know, what should we do about this front end? And yeah, then I'm probably gonna sit here, maybe make a cuppa, and just sit here and look at it for a while. I think I've earned it. Just a quick update on that passenger side front wheel. It wasn't that it's that the arches are in the wrong place. The front arm's bent, so the on the passenger side, so the wheel's actually sitting forward. It's like had a hit on the front of it, and that's caused it to kind of kink that way but kick the outside that way. So trying to sort out some bottom arms, so at least it's not the kit that's in the wrong place, which didn't make sense because the car would have to be different on one side to the other if that was the case, but because they both meet the door in the same way. So yeah, it's kind of a good thing really. The bottom arm's bent, so I need to get some bottom arms. I'm just going to put a pair on, and then it's new bushes and everything in the front. So yeah, just a quickie on that. I've been here all day, haven't done any work on the car. I've just been tidying up. We had these new windows fitted, so there's fucking glass everywhere, and I picked up a filler card this morning off the bench and got a bit of glass in my finger, so I thought this is a bit too dangerous to have it all laid about like that. So just little shards everywhere. They cleaned up and filled my bin with glass. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? But yeah, so anyway, that's what I've been doing today. There's no point filming it. I've just been making dust. I'm white as hell, and just having a general clear out really, chucking a load of bits and pieces of crap out that's been laid about. Back on Sunday.